especially as that low gets closer into Galveston, you know, the overall storm surge anywhere from 1 to 3 feet. We'll go over some of those watches, advisories coming up in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm seeing your active radar. 45, Highway 6, 288. We have a live look here on the South Loop at Kirby, right near Houston Stadium, where we will be seeing more traffic a little bit later on in the afternoon, approaching game time. But this is what we see on our radar, live view, and this takes us all the way to Galveston. As I zoom in, you'll see that we have no major crashes working right now, but it's going to be one of those slippery mornings where it's easily one where you can either spin out, or if you're following too closely, you can end up in a fender bender if you're not paying attention. I-10 from Channelview all the way out to Mont Belvieu, Baytown, parts of 99 also saturated. If you're waking up in Sheiks, the same for my Eastgate commuters trying to make their way down to Mont Belvieu. It's going to be a slippery drive. Up the Gulf Freeway, you need to really have your low beams on. Make sure that those are on, and you know, there won't be any motorcyclists to watch out for. The rain is really coming down Gulf Freeway all the way up through the South Sam Houston Tollway. So we'll keep an eye on all of those wet road conditions. 20 minutes right now in from Clear Lake, 13 minutes for when it's a dry conditions. So because it's so wet, people need to give themselves a little bit more buffer time for sure.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Highway 6 northbound at Briar Forest. Also, I spotted some lights that were malfunctioning. Could be numerous spots around town where the lights are completely out or flashing, so be sure that if they are flashing red, you'll need to treat them as a stop sign. If they're flashing yellow, you need to proceed with caution. But all in all, dial 311 to report those locations of those traffic signals that are malfunctioning once you get to a safe location. We also have a Gulf Freeway northbound problem reported at Griggs. I don't see the backup here at the South Loop yet, but it's bound to happen the longer that crash sits. I know that that Griggs camera is out at Houston Transtar, so I'm not able to show you the scene at Griggs, but I'm looking at backup, and definitely if you're coming in from Southeast Houston, it's a slippery commute, and we have those delays that are formulating right before the crash. So here's what it looks like on the radar, and it looks wet, as you heard Cheetah say, from Galveston all the way into the South Beltway. Also looking at Beaumont Place, I-10 outbound from Channelview out toward Mont Belvieu, and streets north of I-10 right now getting soaked as rain is really coming down in your area. So keeping you posted on the Angleton Drive, if you're coming up 288, all throughout Manville up through, again, the South Beltway, it will be a slick one. So we'll keep you posted on any major crashes, and of course your drive times throughout the morning. So far, so good for a lot of other drivers other than the spots that I mentioned.
Okay,
everybody who prayed for nice coffee getting their wish, at least on the backside. All right, we have a couple of things to pass along to you. It is active on our traffic radar. This is East Tex Freeway southbound at Rankin. If you're waking up in Kingwood, coming in from Atascocita, left lanes are blocked. This is your HOV lane, the carpool lane. So it's moving on time. We're only seeing slow traffic in the immediate area, but you know how quickly things begin to stack up. We also have traffic lights that are malfunctioning at Sage and Westheimer. We have a crash at Highway 6 northbound at Briar Forest. And we have a Gulf Freeway problem right around Telephone that's working. We had an earlier one at Griggs that quickly cleared up, and it looks like the issue just sort of pushed right into town. Here's what our hitting a lot of the Gulf Freeway up through League City, definitely impacting South Beltway drivers. Also East Freeway and 90 on the northeast side of town is going to be a soggy drive right now. So low beams on, have those cell phones at bay. That's what it looks like as far as the rain showers that are coming down on 45 and 288, same thing. Bonnie, Manville, up.
If you are headed out, Jen does have some closures we all need to know about.
That's right. Fans have these streets marked in blue from Polk Street to the edge of Shell Energy Stadium, and the stretch of Hutchins Street that runs perpendicular to all of those streets are currently closed. And those lines that run in pink, if I could pull up that map, you know, I put this on my social media account as well, so you can always go to my X account, and we will have this streaming later on during this newscast. These closed streets will be in place 90 minutes before the game, which would be at 10:30 in the morning. These closures will stay in place until the end of the final match, and these closures will happen every single day until the end of the World Cup on July 19th. Unfortunately, Alona, I wasn't able to put the map on when we get that map running, and also, again, it's on my social media accounts.
Good to know, Jen. Thank you. Now,
we are looking at your Wednesday drive, have some information to pass along to you of trouble spots. East Tex Freeway at Rankin, we are still dealing dealing with a problem. Left lanes are blocked. Carpool lane is still the time. I would enter after this point. As soon as you see the brake lights, that would be advised. So this is the incident I just showed you on camera. Now I'll move along. Highway 6 northbound at Briar Forest, crash is working. Lights are malfunctioning at Westheimer and Sage. And up the Gulf Freeway, we do have a problem working. It's right around Telephone Road. We've also got very wet road conditions on I-45. So it's dual issues. First of all, you need to have your cell phones down, and you need to be paying close attention to your entrance and exits all the way from Galveston, especially through League City, up through the South Beltway right now, stretching over to 288 and all the way into Seabrook. That heavy rain is coming down. So our live look here at Gulf Freeway at Lockwood, this is the back of a sign, but tucked behind the sign are emergency crews in this crash. So it looks like right lanes are getting through, and that's why we're heavy inside of the South Loop off of the Gulf Freeway. And this is what it looks like back at Telephone, some of the backup because of that wreck that I just showed you. Again, carpool lane is running well if that's what you take into town. And remember yesterday how flooded we were on the 45 North Freeway, 242 feeder road? Well, the feeder road has dried up. You're all good to go on the main lanes especially, but looking at your drive time, 27 minutes in from the Woodlands, we'll take that. That drive time out of Clear Lake, though, is already 50. Okay, Cheetah, thank you. We have 59 headed southbound at the West Park Tollway. This is right near the Galleria. If you're making your way out towards Sugarland, this is going to be on your drive likely. Center lanes get through, but a lot of emergency crews rolling up to the scene of this crash. It looks like a fire truck is about to possibly depart from the scene or reposition. Let's see. Okay, he's leaving the scene. Inbound carpool lane is not impacted. We might have occasional brake lights headed inbound, but this has drivers head inbound. Also take note that lights are flashing at Sage and Westheimer, so you can expect delays, and also be sure that you stop and treat it as a four-way stop. We had issues working on 69 at Rankin. Those cleared. We do have a problem 69 northbound approaching New Caney. There is a bad crash, so we have some backup right around 99. And then I did want to show you what it looks like with radar on, because you've heard Cheetah say that the roads are very slick. We're talking South Beltway all the way almost to 225, pushing out to LaPorte. My colleague Julissa Garza is out in the Angleton area, and she's been traveling on the 288. Seeing Julissa, I'm sure it's coming down, and we just need to have our low beams on and those cell phones down. It's so hard.
It's funny and not funny, right?
It is, because you want to think that's so easy, and it should be, but it's so hard.
Maybe just put the phone in the kitchen.
I know.
Right.
Away.
I don't even allow them anywhere near the table, because if they're face down,
that's great.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
let's go. Like,
it's too distracting.
Alona made the great point that are they being honest also in
This
their
is
reporting anyway? This is self-reporting.
So it's probably like 99.9% of them.
I know. Well, listen, today, do not get on the phone on the roads. I mean,
There we go.
Cast where you can talk for an extended period of time, Cheetah. Yeah, we want to cover the road conditions. I'll show you multiple wet camera shots just so you can get a glimpse, hopefully, of your highway. This is 225 at Allen Genoa. No major wrecks working right now, but we have had several that have popped up around town. They've been cleared up rather quickly. Gulf Freeway at Telephone was one of those spots where we did have a crash, but traffic has gotten sort of back to normal. It's busy out there. Slick road conditions means that drivers are slowing their speeds. I-10 East Freeway at Magnolia for your live picture here. And then coming in from Stafford, it's just the usual brake lights right at the curve and pushing into the Galleria. But soggy conditions, and when the road and the pavement curve like that, you really need to have that cell phone down. We also have signal lights that are flashing at Sage and Westheimer, so anytime they're flashing red, you need to treat them as a four-way stop. We'll be right back. Couldn't move fast enough.
I know.
Cheetah.
I agree.
I know. A real challenge this morning. First of all, we have flashing lights at Sage and Westheimer. That's like the least of our problems. We've got a new issue on I-10 to Katy right at downtown Houston Avenue. We have a problem on the South Sam Houston Tollway. It has been pouring, so ease up on that accelerator, please. Gulf Freeway at Bay Area, we've got a problem working. Here's what it looks like with radar on the traffic map, okay? A lot of us getting drenched. Now it's stretching all the way to the West Sam Houston Tollway. If you take the West Loop all the way to the north side, stretching over to 90 on the northeast, out to Channel View, Baytown's 9, 225 LaPorte area. If I were you, I would stay off of the roads if at all possible. This area on the southeast side, just south of is very heavy rain conditions. Here's one of our crashes involving at least 3 vehicles. Police not yet on the scene. This is I-10 at Houston Avenue. It looks like they were following too closely. This is when traffic really breaks in this area and folks try to jump over into the lanes to get to other highways. So it's just a really tricky area. I'll let you know when emergency crews arrive. That's going to back up the Katy Freeway around Taylor. This is what it looks like on the South Sam Houston Tollway at West Fuquay, where we had reports of a problem in the eastbound direction. And Julissa Garza has been out on the roadways as well, hopefully taking county with the welcome to town. I did want to tell you, if you're headed to the Fan Fest, there are streets that are already closed. The dark blue indicates those: Walker, McKinney, Lamar, Dallas, between Emancipation and Hutchins. Streets that will be closed 90 minutes before the Fan Fest through Capitol. We will be monitoring to be road ready. Here we are with our traffic map because the rain stretches from now 99 on the west side, West Beltway, North Sam Houston Tollway getting some rain. Hardy Toll Road is going to be wet, and this stretches even more over to the East Beltway. Considerable amount of rain right now between Channelview, the I-10 corridor, and 225 pushing out toward Baytown and LaPorte. It's heavy rain, no joke on the roads. And any low-lying areas are quickly ponding, if not seeing some light amount of flooding. So please be on guard, especially if you're not familiar with ditches or those side streets, because if the waters are flashing at Sage and Westheimer, plus we've got crashes. So here's one of them. Katy inbound at Houston Avenue, multiple cars involved. It looks like 3 to 4 vehicles. Police are on scene. They're still blocking a left lane. This is backing Katy Freeway up. This is 69 southbound at 610, right near the Galleria. If you're headed out towards Sugarland or Meadows Place, that's going to be only one right lane that gets through. East Texas Freeway at Aldine Bender, or Aldine Mail Route, I should say. There's flashing lights in your carpool lane. And we'll be right back after the break, but I'm just showing you those wet camera shots as we lead you into this commercial break. You'll need almost an hour and even more buffer time needed trying to get through any high water through your neighborhood or just really slow going conditions. 30 minutes in from Cypress, 35 minutes in from the Woodlands. You see here on the east side of town, the only thing, and then I'm surprised because it's really been pouring in LaPorte. We have a crash on the Katy at Houston Avenue.